that trumpet sound, boy. Yo, running the sound, either in or you out. Ain't no straddling the fence, either in or you out. Ain't no straddling the fence, either in or you out. Ain't no straddling the fence, either in the Lord or you out. The Lord, either in or you out. Ain't no straddling the fence, either in or you out. Ain't no straddling the fence, either in or you out. Ain't no straddling the fence, either in the Lord or you out.
Yes, sir. It's a busy shalom.
Shalom, my kid.
What it do?
Man, it's another day that the Most High has made.
And you best believe that.
Yes, sir.
Man, another day, another long week.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot going down. As of early this morning, a lot going down.
This morning?
Yes, sir.
What happened this morning?
Man, they done dropped them nukes off over in Iran.
Sheesh.
It's getting ugly out there. I think one of the nukes was targeted at a all-girls school. And all them died, or a lot of them died. I think 63 people done died in that school.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's going down. Then we didn't heard that they finally took out the leader over there and all his padres. So next man up. But we got the current events. We ain't gonna speak too much on it, but we got these current events that's gonna speak on what's popping over there on that far east coast, far east side. Let's see, we'll go with this one right here.
And military targets in Israel.
Bro. Oh.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed that they destroyed an American early warning radar system, AN/FPS-132 radar, in Qatar. The destroyed radar was equipped with unique equipment to track ballistic missiles. The Qatari Ministry of Defense confirmed to Al Jazeera that the IRGC destroyed the U.S. early warning radar system. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said in a statement that in the first phase of retaliation, named Truthful Promise 4, Iran's military struck the command of the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, as well as U.S. bases in Qatar and the United Arab Emirates, and military targets in Israel. Shrapnel from an Iranian missile attack on Abu Dhabi killed one person on Saturday, authorities in Dubai told the Associated Press. In another attack, IRGC said it struck the command of the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, as well as U.S. bases in Qatar and the United Arab Emirates, and military targets in Israel. Iran unleashed a barrage of missiles and drones at Israel after the U.S. and Israeli military carried out strikes on Tehran and other cities. Sirens wailed and missile interceptors were seen in Tel Aviv following the Iranian attack.
All right, what's your take on that one?
And that's what happened this morning?
That's been going on for a minute, because it sounded like that might have happened. I think it did happen today, because I get all the videos mixed up out when I be watching it, man, because I don't never see a date on it. If it do, I overlook it. But I know over in Dubai, Iran shot over there and hit the American American base over there, or Emory, whatever they want to call it. And then all the other stuff that's going on now. So I think it was all simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was that one. We see how they getting down. I'm not sure who threw the first strike, but it was probably Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's a bully. You know what I'm saying? So he probably said, no time to wait. We already over here.
He's not wasting time in his presidency.
Yeah. So that was that one, man. So let's go to this next one. This is the speech that Trump did after everything went down. So let's see what he had to say.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died.
Attention homeowners, I want to buy your house right now,
Right,
as
well,
is,
we
no matter
get-
what condition it's in. And not only do I want to buy your
He made that quick announcement that they did what they did when the strikes hit Iran. So we back in we back in Israel, and on the other side of the fight with Iran, you got Russia and China ready to go to support Iran. So, and then also in that speech too, he told the people of Iran, he's like, hey, y'all been under this regime for decades, and now it's time for y'all to reclaim y'all government back. He said, you better hurry up and do it.
It said this right here on PBS.org. It said U.S. and Israel launch a major attack on Iran as Trump urges Iranians to take over your government.
We.
Yeah. Dubai, United Arab Emirates, the U.S. and Israel launched a major attack on Iran Saturday, and President Donald Trump urged the Iranian public to seize control of your destiny by rising up against the Islamic leadership that has ruled the nation since 1979. So he's telling them take up arms to where you got to rebel. He's telling them to rebel.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Iran just a couple of weeks ago burnt that statue of Baal, right?
Yeah.
Remember who was on that statue of Baal? Trump and Epstein.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the American flag and with the Jewish flag. So let's remember. We got a special guest on deck. What's up?
I did an excellent start.
What up, Mark?
Shalom, Hebrew.
Wow. Where you at? I can't
Huh?
see. I can't see.
Yeah, you can't see thou.
Okay.
But yeah, we got the one camera thing show going on over here. So I just handle everything on the other end. Vern got the other end.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
That's a long.
So we just showed 2 videos about the war that started early this morning.
yeah.
And then we just speaking about that Iran had burnt that statue of Baal a couple weeks ago with President Trump and Epstein.
That's a good connection. So
Yeah.
So look, we're going over. Let me reread the headline of the article real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I could be up to par. Hold on real quick. So this is from PBS.org, and this is the headline. It's the U.S. and Israel launch a major attack on Iran as Trump urges Iranians to take over your government.
All the stuff you.
So they launched the attack on Iran, and then Trump is telling them, "Hey, take back your government, like rise up."
Man, whatever Israel got on America, boy,
Man,
it's gonna
there's a video I'm gonna play. This happened during Feast of Dedication with Trump and this guy that made a statement to Trump during the Feast of Dedication, or Hanukkah, is what they call it. So let's see. They call it.
Certifiable nut job. But here, calling Donald Trump the first Jewish president.
6 years ago, I was up here and I said, "This is our first Jewish president." Now he's the first Jewish president to serve 2 not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
That's where bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and you see that happening. But
And you are the greatest. God bless you.
Next time, don't bring it up.
Hey, maybe don't touch.
What did you say, Aki? You said whatever Israel got. You said on America.
look, whatever, they said Epstein was blackmailing the politicians, so he's blackmailing them with, I don't want to say, I don't know what I can say on here or whatnot, or I mean,
he's Babylon Street. You can say what you want.
Man, well, the sick, twisted stuff they was doing out there, was supposed to be Epstein getting dirt on America. You know what I mean? To expose, people keep saying who's in the Epstein files, but they not, really saying like what did they do? We know what was going on there and whatnot, but I think it's heavily altered. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, whatever's really in there got them obeying Israel, to a T, because they don't, nobody else.
Half of your I can't remember. Look up how many Jewish people are in the U.S. Senate and in the White House. I think it's like almost want to say it's 400 something workers in the White House, and I want to say 63, or it's a high percentage of people that are Jewish.
Yeah, probably so. Not long ago, it was a clip going around of politicians, and I don't know if they were going up for election but they were going around asking, well, what are y'all gonna do when y'all get into, if y'all get in office? And every single one of them is, oh, we're gonna do this for Israel, we're gonna do that for Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like they work for Israel. Yeah,
there's a thing going around now where people are walking around with the elected officials or military people and asking American first or Israel first. and nobody says anything.
If they, because they, it's better to say nothing than dig yourself in the hole. You know what I mean? Because they're owned and controlled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got to put Israel. It's Israel first. It's obvious. Like, you don't got to say nothing. Your actions show it. You know what I'm saying? People are broke. Groceries are out of control. Gas is out of control. The economy is out of control. Inflation is out of control. The average house is $400,000. And you're not fixing this, but you're steadily giving billions of dollars to another country.
Really? Yeah.
You don't have to say nothing. Like, that says it all. You know what I mean? Leading, Trump said he was going to be the peaceful president. That's what he led with. You know what I mean?
And he also said he's going to be the last president too.
I believe that.
Yes,
not that, I ain't saying that, that he is or he not, but I think that's a possibility. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff nobody have ever been allowed to do.
Yeah, and he ain't getting no approval from nobody in Congress or nothing.
He got more felonies than, you know what I mean?
Boy, what you got over there, Rock?
So this is how many Jewish people are in the Senate percentage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It say in the 119th Congress, 25 through 2027, there are 10 Jewish members in the U.S. Senate representing 10% of the chamber. This is a higher percentage than in the House of Representatives, where Jewish members account for approximately 6%, if I remember.
All right, well, we see that. So let's go ahead and bust down this lesson, Ak.
Praises. So y'all already kind of got it going.
Yeah.
Let's get deep in there.
We've been talking about the doctrine of the Messiah, right? What was the Messiah's doctrine? Then we end up getting into the mark of the beast and the Antichrist, because we know the Messiah spoke on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, while all that's going on, what is the condition like? And you read about the conditions of the times, and they said, can observe the signs of the time. So, we got to be able to observe them things. But, with everything going on, now they got the Epstein files busting out. Now it's like, dang, could you really believe that this type of stuff would be going on? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been saying it, you know what I'm saying? But folks is really in that matrix. They're really in that matrix state of mind. So you can't accept the truth, And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I woke up this morning, y'all, and I was just really like thinking, like, man, I don't see how somebody could not believe in the Most High. Like, not even saying you got to follow the faith we believe, right? But to say that there's no creator, like, that's crazy. Like, everything is a system, right? So everything is ran by, like, everything is set up. So how does your body function, your brain and your organs and all that communicate with each other, like, by coincidence?
Right.
Like that. That's just stupid, and we know that everything has to have a starting point, you know what I'm saying? But for everything to have that, working like that, it had to be programmed. And then that's where they get you to. What do? You sit back and watch the television program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you see the propaganda, you know what I'm saying? But just knowing that, so everything has to have a system. We know that this world is run by a demonic force. It's run by a demonic system. So who's running the system? You see what I'm saying? And now they're coming out with the evidence of who's running the system. And they've been doing their rituals. Talking about Bohemian Grove, Bohemian Grove with the Skull and Bones fraternity,
the Bilderberg Group.
So we could go into this stuff, but it's like this is all funneling back up to the top of the source of not the set apart divine, right, but this counterfeit Antichrist system.
Hey, have y'all seen the statement Putin made?
Which one?
He's talking about going after the Rothschilds.
Yeah, good. You know, they're not involved in the central banking system.
Yeah.
They're part of
So
it.
we about to expose the Rothschilds, and then if he's gonna do that, then I'm sure he's gonna do with the Rockefellers.
Yeah, they're the same.
What's the other one? The other name?
J.P. Morgan Chase.
Nah, I think it's two brothers.
Man,
They own everything. Like if you look at stocks, they own.
like
I'm gonna have to find. I'll let y'all know, but we keep on going. But yeah, that's what Putin on.
yeah, I mean that's what he's doing now. You know what I mean? BRICS it's an economic alliance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are implementing militaristic principles in there, you know, and their allegiance is getting stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they main goal, they main objective was to sustain themselves through all America's tariffs and all America's embargoes on trade, and you know all the financial warfare America been waging against all these countries. And then, you know, not even just the countries that's under BRICS, it's countries that want to get with BRICS. You know what I mean? And they agreeing to trade. They're agreeing to barter.
Yeah.
You know, we got oil, y'all got natural gas, y'all have rubber, y'all got cotton. We'll give you the cotton for the oil. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
everything has been traded in American money. So it's like when everything is being traded in American money, that means America's going to get a piece of everything, because you have to do business with America to get American money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, America's currency, America then only sustained itself through rape, robbery, murder, theft, you know what I'm saying? And stealing and pillaging villages and overthrowing governments and toppling regimes, you know what I mean? Killing presidents and treachery. You know what I mean? That because America don't sell too much of nothing. America is a consumer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? America buys, you know what I mean? And America steals. You feel me? That's where they get the money to buy from. America don't sell their own oil, you know what I mean? But you know, being a thief, being a robber, dropping bombs on countries. See, it talks about I think it's Revelations. I want to say it's Revelations 19. If I'm mistaken, it might not be, or maybe it's that. Revelations talk about the woes. Where's the woes at?
Is it 19?
Might be 40. Well,
8 and 13.
speaking great things in Revelations 13. I think it's 13, 14, 14, and follow in Babylon. Well, America dropped 2 big old bombs on Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Revelations 8 and 13.
Revelations 8 and 13 and talk about the woes. Okay. America dropped them bombs on Japan, right? Mm-hmm. And the world got in order. 8 and 13. So it says, yeah, darkening the stern part of it, the whole angel flying through the reason. And that's the third trumpet of the 3 angels. Where's it? 8 and 13? Where's the second woe? The second woe. Where the second woe?
You in chapter 8?
Yeah, I'm in chapter 8.
Verse 13?
The second woe.
Okay, hold on.
Angel sounded. Well, long story short, man, look, when America dropped them bombs on Japan, that's when America took over the world. When America dropped
14.
11, 14.
11 and 14. 11 and 14?
Yeah.
11 and 14. 11 and 14. And the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe. So in the hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake was slain in men 1,000. Glory to it. Where's the city?
9:13. Check 9:13 through 21.
9:13. Man, I don't want to be on here looking and stuff, but yeah, man. When Japan dropped that bomb, or when America dropped them bombs on Japan, it was get down and lay down after that. The world was in prayer. You know what I'm saying? It said the fourth beast will rain fire from heaven. That's what I'm looking for. The fourth beast will rain fire from heaven. That was the fire that got rained from heaven. The nuclear bomb.
You just read that, huh?
Yeah. Where's that at? Second was passed.
19 and 20. The second beast was seized, and him false prophet who worked signs of the presence. Hold on, let me change the.
There come two more woes after. Yeah, man. Well, you know, that's when America took over the world. America is the fourth beast. And we can, you know what I'm saying? We can prove that America is the fourth beast, but it's an oppositional force to America and the regime, the band. They talk about the bands, and America got its own band. It's called NATO. You know what I'm saying? And Russia got their own band. They the leader of their own band. This is Ezekiel 38. It talks about the Russians and their band, and it names names.
All right, let's hit that Revelations 2 and 9 and 3 and 9 real quick, so we could start putting in perspective a little bit, because you know, we're trying to figure out who's who, because a lot of times, like, my whole problem is somebody not wanting to. So, like, you know, we all grew up with a hand-me-down history. Like, somebody gave us our history, right? So we had to dig and find out who we was while they just telling us something. But it's like, once you start looking, then you got to start lining stuff up. So we found our identity by lining stuff up. Well, but you know, they told us they was the same people, really. You see what I'm saying? So how is y'all this people and we this people? And it's just tricky, because if you don't know how to study, then you only have the surface level of everything. You see what I'm saying? So they give you everything on the surface level, but up under that, because you didn't phrase the question right, like, you'll never get to the bottom of something, right? So, like, who's running the system? And, like, from a biblical standpoint, right? Because, you know, that's where we always come from.
Yeah.
But how is it possible that, like, even America, because America found themselves as if they're like a Christian nation, right? But they don't do nothing for real that the early believers would do.
Christianity ain't the Bible. Christianity ain't the Bible. You feel me?
Christianity ain't the Bible, but y'all don't even do what Christianity would tell y'all to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, y'all already is liars. Like, it's already built on lies. And now, you know, the big, it's, you know, it's always a conspiracy against his people. Real talk, hit this Psalms. I know I said Revelations, but let's hit Psalms real quick. I want to say 83. Psalms 83. Tahalim 83 at verse 1. It say, a song of Tahalim of Asaph, keep not thou silence, O Elohim, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Elohim, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee. So he said, he's talking to the Most High. He said, the Most High's enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And when they say lift up the head, they talking about like in pride. Like, you know what I'm saying? Remember when dude hit
the cop.
Yeah.
And they try to mean mug him.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they walk around towards the hood.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They lift up the head.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, that's why it's important to understand these type of verbiage in the scriptures, because you can identify with that. You know what I'm saying? I can identify with the scholarly breakdowns and all that. It's like, we know what lifting up the head mean from that perspective. He was walking around. He had stuck his chest out.
Yeah, he was proud.
Yeah. So that's how they feel against the Most High. So they actions, like what y'all speaking about, these bombings and, you know what I'm saying, how they basically trying to hijack the authority of the Most High on this earth. That's lifting up the head. It says they have taken crafty counsel against our people. So we gather a lot from this statement.
Keep reading, huh?
They got counsel. They purposely did it. It was crafty. They're sneaky.
It was all.
And the Most High has a people.
Yeah, he do. And man, it get. I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump too far ahead.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna walk it down. It's like, and consulted against our hidden ones.
Right.
So they consulted against the hidden ones, the chosen ones of the Most High. These people that hate the Most High and they walk around with their chests out in positions of power. It says they have said, and this is the reason they did it, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. So they can't cut Yahshua off, the Israelites off, people of the Bible, from being a nation.
Let me get something real quick. Something real quick.
The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
What you got,
Isaiah 65, 15. 65, 15. It says this, right? The people he cut out, they cut out from being a nation. Mm-hmm. It says, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. We the only people that got somebody else's last name.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Straight up.
It says, yeah, you know, they're gonna put their name on us as a curse, and that's part of it. When you read this Bible, you gotta read it in you gotta read it in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get confused in this, and it's really not hard to understand. It's really stupid, super simple. You gotta read it in order. But I don't want to get ahead. But it's some stuff we want to bring out and put in perspective, because it's not hard to understand this at all.
Finish it out,
The Psalms.
No, the 65 and 15.
It says, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
Man,
we
call by our
slave. We call by our slave name. Proverbs by words to tell you in Deuteronomy 28. We're not going to be I'm gonna just run with it. So Acts chapter 2. This is Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2, but Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts. Going backwards. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts chapter 2, verse 5 through 8. So when we get here, we get to seeing, and a lot of people don't understand this, but we get to seeing because why? The curses of the Israelites was to be scattered for disobedience. So we was going to be captured. We was going to be scattered. When you go to Daniel chapter 2, it tell you about the captivity. Daniel 2 tells you, Daniel 7 tells you.
Hit what you got in Acts 2.
It tells you in Acts 2, in Acts 5, that it says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem. So this is Jerusalem, but Jerusalem is under a Roman occupation. So even though it's Israelites here, they're still under subjugation to Rome.
You in Acts 5?
No, 2.
Oh, Acts 2 and 5.
Yeah.
And they were
dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men out of every nation under Shamaim.
Right. Keep reading.
It says, now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded because that every man heard them speaking in his own tongue.
Yeah,
We know that's like if we had like us, we in America, we're here in English. We got a whole bunch of Haitians at the job.
You ain't never studied that language.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody, you got some Dominicans in the mix, but they all Negro. And then
all Jews.
Everybody in their own tongue giving the gospel though.
Right. So look, verse 8, and how hear we every man in their own tongue wherein we were born. So these are all Jews speaking different languages. Why? Because they were born in verse 9. They were Parthians, Medes, and Elamites, and the dwellers of Mesopotamia. We was prophesied to be scattered amongst the nations. So these are the nations that we were scattered. These are just some of them, but these are the nations these Jews in Jerusalem came from, and that's why they're speaking different languages.
Hey, if you said that Elamite, if you pull that up on the Blue Letter Bible, what we were speaking about earlier. So Elamite is an inhabitant of the province of Elamites, a region stretching southwestward to the Persian Gulf, like you said, the Persians, boundaries of which are variously given. So you spoke on that earlier on the Persians, and that's Iran over there now.
Strong's G 1639, Elamites.
That's Iran over there now, where you just showed them bombings up.
I'm not exactly sure, but I hear that that's the Indians. You know what I'm saying? I'm not exactly sure, but Iran is next to Pakistan and India, which is Pakistanians and Indians is the same people. They're just different countries. You know what I'm saying? Like Ethiopians is Eritreans, and they're the same people. And Somalians, they're all the same people. They just got their nation got split.
Okay. Hey, all right, let's hit this Revelations 2 and 9 real quick from what you just spoke on. So, because you just spoke on who the Most High was dealing with, right? That's who the Most High was dealing with. Then was his people scattered, different nations, different tongues. And then we're in Revelations 2 and 9. It say, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. So he's talking to the church or the assembly of Smyrna, and this is his people. He said, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews or Yahudim and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah, the lies.
Huh?
The lies, the blasphemy. You lying on somebody.
And that's all we need. Let's go to 3 and 9.
Yeah, but look, they say that I know the poverty, but you're rich. How are you gonna be rich and in poverty?
You're rich in the spirit.
They rich in spirit. We the most spiritually rich people on the planet. And we some of the most impoverished people on the planet too.
All right, Revelation 3 and 9. It said, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Yahudim and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So he's saying this is what's going to happen to them, though.
Yeah, and the synagogue means chief house. So this is the number, just like God got a chosen people, the Most High got a chosen people, so does the adversary, so does Satan. He got a chosen people too. These are his number one chosen people, though. This is his chief house of chosen people that he chooses to be the opposition to the Most High's people.
Yeah. All right. So, we see the outcome of what is going to happen to them who say that they. So, let's kind of hit them with a checkpoint where we at. We looking at that they took crafty counsel. They said we're gonna cut them off from being a nation. They said we don't want the name of Israel to be no more. Now,
Yeah, sure.
looking at what we're looking at, right? With the people that's over there in the land today, does that fit the description? Because did they ever lose that? They claim that they can trace their lineage back to the Bible.
Yeah.
So,
You know what they claim?
that prophecy.
They claim they like to brag about how many nations they got kicked out of when the Bible says, you know, they got kicked. They say they got kicked out of over 200 nations. The Bible don't say you're going to get kicked out of 200 nations. It said you're going to be taken captive into 200 nations, into all nations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's the opposite.
That's the opposite.
That's the opposite. So, you know, we just looking and seeing, you know, the connections, right? And then when you see the propaganda, hold on, let me try to pull this up. When we see the propaganda, because the media is propaganda, like they did a study that the video games that we played when we was growing up, like around our time, they said it wired our brains differently, even how they had the challenges, right?
Yeah.
So like you be playing Zelda or Contra or something like that, you only get a few lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you gonna have to do what you do with them lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like it ain't you know, unless you at the arcade, keep putting quarters in.
Yeah.
But you have to start over.
All the way over.
And then once you beat the game, it ends. You get the end of the story, and boom, you got a sense of accomplishment or failure. But now, shoot, it's just hop online. We just play all night, and then ain't no end. Everything glowing that you can use. You ain't got to figure out no puzzle. They tell you right before you do it. So these kids coming up, they sit here with basically instant gratification type of
no problem solving skills.
Yeah. What'd you say?
No problem solving skills.
No problem solving skills.
No.
So you know the propaganda play a part in what you accept and even who you are and your identity, right? Like they gave us the propaganda that you a Gentile your whole life. We grew up in the church thinking we Gentiles and we still faithfully in the church. Mm-hmm. So you know, look up how many like what do you call like the cinematic like how much is owned by the Jewish?
Oh, you might as well put in
what film companies? What major?
Just pull up that Kanye West video.
Boy. Yeah, another trick they try to do is they always lead you to the Jews, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they try to make it like Jewish is religion when it fits them, but then it's their race when it fits them. So you never could get a clear-cut answer.
Yeah, man.
Look at these though, and this is just kind of tell you, this is trying to give you a glimpse of the power structure they got. It's like major film companies currently or recently led by Jewish CEOs or founders include Warner Brothers, Discovery, CEO David Zaslav, the Walt Disney Company.
Mm-hmm.
So Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger and Paramount National Amusements, Sherrod Redstone. Additionally, historical industry leaders include the founders of Warner Brothers and Universal Pictures. They also said Hollywood is was the original Hollywood really pushed big time by a bunch of Jewish.
Mm-hmm. Even your news circuits is all owned by Jewish companies. You know what I'm saying? Look, every news network had the same script, about the same thing.
Let's see right quick.
Nothing but violence and all that. While he looking that up, I'm gonna show this video of how these so-called God's chosen people do with to the Christians when they over in Jerusalem or anywhere that they be hosted at. Where was it at? This one. Thank you.
Ultra-Orthodox Jews spit toward Christians carrying a cross in occupied East Jerusalem this week, an act of religious hatred, igniting a scandal in Israel and beyond.
From the short leggers to the
Other videos, also widely seen on social media, show Jews spitting toward nuns outside a church. And yet another where Jews spit at a church doorway. Israeli police say they have arrested 5 people, one a minor, in the latest incident. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the spitting attacks, but religious leaders include.
Well, that's what they want.
The book, right? They say them is the people of the book.
Yeah.
All right, so Ezekiel 36 and 26.
All right, hold on. Ezekiel
26.
All right, let's start at 36 and 23 is. Because like we just looking at the book.
Looking at the book.
That's the amazing part to me every time is that we just looking at the book. We're looking at the news article, then we're looking at the book and seeing what line up.
The connection. Where
are we connecting at, or where's the disconnection? So Ezekiel 36 and 23. It say, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahuwah. Saith Yahuwah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land.
Yes, sir.
So right, he was speaking about the land, right, bringing you back to the land. So the people that's over there now, when did they get to the land? They got there in 1948. Now, when they get to the land, if that was a fulfillment of this prophecy in verse 25, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you. He said, when I get you into the land, this is what I'm going to do, right?
Go to Ezekiel 20.
Well, hold on. Let's finish this up. Because he said, I'm going to get you into the land, right? I'm going to take you from where the heathens is, right? Now he's saying, I'm going to get you, when I get you in the land, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you.
They don't have that.
Will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. Does that look like them people got a circumcised heart?
No, sir.
So how is they the people when they was put in that land, and it's in verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you. Is that the attributes of somebody with the spirit of the Most High in them?
No.
You to walk in my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land and that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. Where you want to go out?
Go to
Ezekiel 20.
Go to Ezekiel 20. What I'm trying to see.
Because when they get in the land, it should look like that over there. It should look like they got a new heart.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be spitting on you.
Huh?
Calling you cushy. You know, they be calling the Negroes cushy over there. That's like,
hey. They wouldn't have
hey.
50% melanoma rate. I don't see a guy who gives a chosen people, a chosen land that they not inclined to survive in. They number one killer ain't Hamas or Iran or nothing. It's skin cancer. They can't even survive in the land that God gave them.
Like, that don't make no sense.
What kind of God does that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is
20 and what?
33. We can start at 33.
All right.
It says, as I live, saith Yahweh, surely with the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out, I will rule over you. Right? He's saying he's going to be the God of the Israelites, right? And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries where ye are scattered. He said he's going to gather you out the countries where you're scattered. He didn't say you're going to go from Germany to Israel. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say, and people, you know, they try, oh, well, that was him working through people. No, he's going to gather us up. We're going to be caught up. You know what I'm saying? It says, I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you were scattered. You feel me? With the mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. Listen to this. When did this happen? And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. When did this happen? So we know whatever migration they made from wherever they came from to Israel, the state of Israel, which is not the biblical definition of borders. When did they see the Most High's face? Because last time I checked, you can't see the Most High's face and live. You feel me? It says he was going to plead with them face to face, right? Like I pleaded with your fathers. So he's talking about the people who descended from the same people who went into the first covenant with him, right? The descendants of them, the fathers, right? The sons of those men in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. We know who he, played with in the land of Egypt, whose fathers he played with. So will I plead with you, saith Yahweh, I will cause you to pass under the rod. That's a farming term, pass under the rod, right? That's how a farmer, a shepherd, that's how they examine their sheep. The shepherd got the stick with the loop on it to grab the sheep. So they grab the sheep and they bring them and they examine that sheep. Pass under the rod is judgment. And he said he's coming for, the flock without spot or blemish. We know the Mashiach is the shepherd. He's coming to gather the lost sheep. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is referring to, pass under the rod, right? It says, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. When the Israelites go back to the land, they don't go back to the land until they enter into the new covenant. That's the whole.
We ain't there yet.
We're not there yet. It said.
Oh, that's another thing. So I don't know how many. I don't think we've been keeping track.
One more. I got you. One more. And I will purge out from among you the rebels that transgress against me. He said it's not going to be any. They're the gayest nation in the country. In the world. My bad. That's sin. That's transgression. It's not going to be that when the Israelites enter into the land. You feel me? I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. Ain't going to be no entering into the land of Israel. You know what I mean? They got kosher pigs. Yeah. They got kosher pigs. They gay. You know what I mean? All the child predators, they run to Israel for protection. Yeah. And ain't in the land, in the new covenant.
So we see the connection with Epstein and the Jews, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Man, I seen this too, man. A lot of the Israelis top dogs in New York or wherever they be at, all of them getting arrested for child trafficking, human trafficking, child
Israel, they're gonna be fine.
You know what I'm saying? And then if you remember when the feds raided them in New York last winter, and was it in Brooklyn?
Yep.
Yeah, them niggas was coming up out of the sewers.
like the Ninja Turtles.
Man, them niggas was coming out of everywhere. And
Yeah.
boy running.
Yeah.
Low running, Brother Jacob say.
Hey, real quick. Genesis 10.
32.
Table Nation.
At 1.
Genesis 10.
Yeah. Real quick.
Yeah, welcome to these Babylon streets.
Shalom.
We bringing this heat.
With the third shift on the Shabbat. You know, we ends it off. You hear me? All right, we in the book of Bereshit, Genesis 10 and 1, real quick. And it reads, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or Japheth. It say, and unto them were sons born after the flood. So like I keep been saying, you know, the Bible talking about certain people when it's talking about certain people, right? So this is literally breaking down who's who. It says the sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog. So you just pay attention to who the sons are. Mm-hmm. These are the sons of Japheth: Gomer, Magog, Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras. All right, so them is the sons of Japheth. One of Japheth's sons, Gomer, in verse 3, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Rephi, and Togarmah. All right, so one of Gomer's sons is Ashkenaz. Can you pull up Ashkenaz out?
Yep.
Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz. And it was what? 8:13.
Yep.
It said, a man has sprinkled fire at scattered.
Strong's H 813. Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz.
A man has sprinkled fire as scattered. A descendant of Japheth, a northern people, perhaps Bithynia. And then we go down to the Jacenius Hebrew Chaldean lexicon, name of region and nation in northern Asia, sprung from Semiramis, sought near Armenia, unless this were a province of the country. The modern Jews understand it to be Germany and call that country by this Hebrew name, which is only to be attributed to their wonderful ignorance of geography. But so they say that the Jews understand this to be Germany. So if they understand this to be Germany and they call themselves Ashkenazi Jews, this is what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to say that they're not talking about that part in the Bible.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? But this is how they'll get you. And this is why I'm saying this, because the surface level study, even especially with this AI, people think they're real smart with this AI. We're going to be leading them down the surface level here.
Well,
There's a lot of gaps. Let's real quick. Genesis 9,
28
and 27.
Hold on.
Genesis 9 and 27.
Mm-hmm. Censorship.
Because they saying that they are the Ashkenazi. They're saying that they are the Jews. Like, which one is it? Is it Germany? Is it Jew? And so how they'll try to get you is by this. They'll say they got dispersed in 70 AD and went into these European lands and went into Germany and then start calling themselves Ashkenaz because Ashkenaz is Germany. And they're saying, hey, we the Ashkenazi Jews now.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They trying to say that, like we'll say, okay, we the Naptown Brews. Because
they still lived in that land. So
look at the hospital. Ashkenazi hospital.
It's on everything.
Huh?
It's on everything.
Yeah.
But when we look here, I look here in Genesis 9 and 27. It say, Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servants. So when did this happen? When did this happen? You see what I'm saying? And look up that word enlarge in the Strong.
Patu. See what this is.
Oh,
Strong's
Come on.
Strong's H6601. Patha. Patha.
what it mean? Be suspicious, be open, be wide. So like enlarge, right? To be spacious or open or wide. To make spacious, make open. To be simple, entice, deceive, persuade. To be open-minded. To be naive. To be enticed, be deceived, be gullible.
Yeah.
That's what he said he gonna do to Japheth, to Japheth. So, okay, you're spacious, yeah. Population-wise, spacious. The bodies on the ground, spacious. But they also be open-minded. I mean, these are the most probably liberal people, right? Everything gotta be politically correct. You gotta allow everybody to do everything. This is a Japhetic attribute. And to be naive or be deceived. So perhaps some are deceived and think, hey, we them people. You see what I'm saying? But it said he gonna dwell in the tents of Shem. So if these are descendants of these, and we know that like when people talk about Yiddish, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people get it confused and think Yiddish is the characters that they see in. Like when they write them characters, but Yiddish is them using them characters to speak a German influenced form of Hebrew. That's what Yiddish is. That's where it arrived from. So, these are these people's ancestry, and they stay over there in the land as if they the people. But as we see, they don't even descend from the line of Shem. You got anything on that, Aki?
Nah, man. I do wanna go over some stuff though. I want to go over this Daniel 7 and some Isaiah, and I just don't, I don't know what order you what I mean, going in, so I don't want to be out of.
Yeah, I think we kind of on track. We just showed, I think we really touched on the deception, the lineage part though, because the Ashkenaz are pretty much the Orthodox Jews, right? You got the Ashkenaz, the Sephardic, the Northern Africans, and the Ethiopian Jews. Them is the pretty much four major branches that the scholars is going to notice and that they're going to give you, when you look it up. But the question comes like, how is it all these different branches? You know what I'm saying? And then they get down to the DNA, and that's the part that's also like when science, when the truth catch up to science, they change the rules in science. When the collective conscious catch up to science and catch on, then they change the rules. So they'll say, oh, well, we don't use that type of study no more to validate that information. You see what I'm saying? So we just really breaking it down, validating the scriptures, because the information they give us is going to be fugazi.
Yeah, for sure. They don't even do DNA. The most important thing, is prophecy. That's the most important thing. When you're trying to track down and identify who people are in this word, you know, because it tells you the things that they're gonna go through. It tells you, you know, the Israelites is gonna be scattered. They tell you we're gonna have the other people's last names. They tell you we're gonna be proverbs and bywords. They tell you we're gonna go into slavery on ships. They tell you we're gonna be, you know, servants in, you know, different lands. And you know, when you match that up with history, you know, and archaeology and artifacts, and you know, even like you got to go into the writings of the other nations from their perspective. You know what I mean? They wrote the same stories. They wrote the same stories in this book. You know what I mean? That we call the Bible. They just wrote it from their side. You know what I mean?
623.
You go ahead and bring it out.
Hour 5.
Okay.
So this is Daniel 7.
All right. Let me get there, bro. 7 and what?
Just start at 7. We're gonna take it from the top. 7 and 1. Let me find it. Where's it? Where Daniel? Isaiah. Daniel 7. So Daniel 7 and Daniel 2 is a parallel script. You know what I mean? Daniel 2 talks about a statue. So let me see. Daniel 2, right? Daniel 2 talks about this image right here, right? Yeah. Daniel 2 talks about this image. And Daniel 7 talks about some beasts, right? So Daniel 2, the image in Daniel 2.
Put that back up. I'm gonna enlarge it back up real quick so they can see.
We're gonna go over this. See that?
Yeah.
So this is Daniel 2, right? And I'm saying Daniel 2 because Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 is virtually the same thing, basically. So I don't know if you can see this whole thing, right?
You don't understand what he's saying? He's saying that image is what.
Yeah, we can see it out.
These two images.
Y'all know the book of Daniel?
These two images are used to tell the same.
Daniel, that's what he's talking about, was that image he put up there. So when y'all do learn about it, that's what he's talking about.
We're gonna go over it right now. See, the statue is it's a head of gold, it's chest and arms of silver, it's a belly and thighs of brass, and it's legs and feet of clay and iron. And this statue was a dream of King Nebuchadnezzar, right? The king of Babylon. And the king of Babylon was in control of the world in its entirety at that time, you know, before nations spread all over the earth. He literally ruled the majority of the world as we knew it at that time, right? He was the head of gold. After him, it was said it was going to be, and he had the Israelites in slavery. That's 2 Kings chapter 25. We see where the king of Babylon came and enslaved the Israelites. This is when we lost our land. This is when we start losing our identity, right? Because now we're under they told Daniel his name was Belshazzar, right? They changed. This is when we start losing our identity. So after Babylon, we get to Ezra, Nehemiah, and you know, first 2 chapters in Ezra tells you the king of Persia has came and overthrew the king of Babylon, and we stayed slaves. You feel me? Now we're slaves to Persia. You know what I mean? So we slaves to Persia, but the king of Persia does let us rebuild the temple. So we got our temple back because the king of Babylon destroyed our temple, right? So after that is the belly and thighs of brass. The belly and thighs of brass in the statue of Daniel 2 is the Greek Empire. And we can go to Maccabees, read Maccabees chapter 1, first Maccabees 1 and 1. Read 2 Maccabees 2 and 4, and then show you the identity theft of the Israelites, to tell you that they forced us to do what they. Can we get Maccabees? Can we get Maccabees 2? Second Maccabees 4 and start at verse 10.
Hold on, all right.
Because because these are the nations that we're dealing with, and all these nations are you know, we about to watch these nations very heavily after what happened to Iran, and we got to because
Maccabees,
second Maccabees,
Maccabees. And what'd you say, Aki?
4 and started 10, I think.
4 and 10. All right. Can you pull it up?
Second.
Which one the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to, it said Yavinish fashion, which is Greek fashion. I'm in a cipher.
Keep reading.
And that go back to what we was reading in Genesis 10, though, when it said these are the descendants of Japhet. You know, it talks about Javan, right? Who is Greece.
We got to go over this because they, you know, a lot of people don't understand and they took it out. But verse 11, it says, he began abolishing the favors of John that had secured for the Jews from previous Syrian kings. John was the father of Eupolemus, who later went to Rome to make an alliance and establish ties of friendship. So we get Greco-Roman right there, Greco-Roman Empire. You know what I mean? It's pretty much the same thing, but the Romans came after the Greeks and then they changed like the names of certain stuff, but they pretty much the same thing, right? It says Jason also did away with our Jewish customs, right? And introduced new customs that were contrary to our law. With greatest enthusiasm, he built a stadium near the Temple Hill and led our finest young men to adapt Greek customs of, I don't know what version this is, but basically he had us doing homosexual acts. You know, but the belly is the bread, and I just want to show that. But the belly and the legs are brass, and then the last kingdom is going to be the kingdom that's ruling the earth when the Mashiach comes back for his people, and we gonna see that. So this is Daniel chapter 1, right? Starting Daniel chapter 7, my bad. And instead of a statue, it talks about 4 beasts. It talks about 4 beasts. I'm not gonna go over the first 3 beasts because the first 3 beasts are the first 3 metals in the statue. Babylon gold, silver is Persia, and the belly is the Greeks, but the toes is the Romans, which is gonna keep their dominance. So if we see that, if we look at this map,
hold on, let me get you. Hold on out.
is it backwards?
Pull back.
Look up Roman Empire map. I don't know if it's backwards on the screen, right? But this was the dominance of
right to left. Just move it right to left slowly. They get the picture.
Yeah, but you know, so this was the dominance of the Roman Empire, right? And we can see this is Spain and Portugal, right? But this is Rome. Hold on. Yeah, this is Rome. This is Italy, and this is Italy. And they touch the top of Africa, and they go all the way to Spain and Portugal, right? And from Spain and Portugal, that's right underneath where? Great Britain, one of the greatest European empires of all time. And from Great Britain, what came from Great Britain? America came from Great Britain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it all started in Rome. You feel me? See, they're still in control. The 4th beast is the Roman Empire, and we're gonna prove it. And from the Roman Empire, from the 4th beast, we get Britain, and then from Britain, you know, we get America. But it tells you that the toes are 10 nations, and these become some of the greatest Europeans. It become the French, it become the Germans, it become the Spanish. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a lot of these great.
Sound like BRICS and NATO nation.
It is BRICS and NATO. So, well, this is the BRIC side. This is the, you know, well, it kind of splits a little bit, but we're gonna get into it. It says, verse 1: in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, and visions of his head. He had a dream, visions in his head. Upon his bed, he sleep. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matter. So he woke up like, dang, I had a powerful dream, right? He writes it down. He got to meditate on it. Verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. It's four beasts, and all different. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings, and beheld to the wings thereof were plucked off. I'm gonna skip down to the fourth beast, because I told you the first one is the Babylon, second is the Persians, third one is the Greece. They took the Greek captivity out the Bible, but it's in the Apocrypha. The fourth beast is verse 7, I think. And okay, this is 7. This beast is dreadful and terrible, like none other. No other beast dropped fire from heaven and wiped out 300,000 people like that. Dropped nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Took out more people at one time than ever been taken out in world history. You feel me? This beast literally has taken over the earth, the entire earth. Remember, in the first beast, the world hadn't spread. People hadn't been everywhere yet. Now, in the fourth beast era, people are literally all over the world. America has 740 bases worldwide. They got a base. They're right on your border, ready to get on you for anything, any stepping out of line that you do. They're at your doorstep, ready and waiting. But this is the fourth beast description, right? Verse 7. After this, I saw in the night vision and beheld a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong, exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. The 10 horns is like the 10 toes, which represents the splitting of the nations. See, NATO is, France, Germany, they all come from this same beast, from Rome. But they don't all agree with each other all the time. They don't all deal with each other. They deal with each other underhandedly. You know what I mean? They fight amongst each other, but they got a functional relationship. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's skip to verse 13. Verse 13 said, I saw in the night visions and beheld one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. So the Mashiach came to the Father. It said one like the Son of Man. That's the Mashiach. Came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days. The Ancient of Days, that's the Father. Two different beings. You know what I'm saying? And they brought him near before. Verse 14. He said, come here, approach the throne, son. You know what I mean? That's what the Father told him. And there was given him dominion. The Father gave the Son dominion, which means control, right? And glory, and a kingdom. See, the kingdom of heaven is a government. A lot of people not going to understand this, but the kingdom of heaven is a government, and it has a hierarchy. And it tells you in Revelations, the hierarchy is the Mashiach, which is the Messiah, which is who they call Christ. It's the 12 disciples underneath him. It's the elders. I forget, it's 30 elders. And then it's the 144,000. And then Matthew 5 and 17 through 19 says, he who teaches those to break the least of the commandments will be least in the kingdom of heaven, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be people that make it in heaven. I think this might be talking about the those of us who are in Christianity. They teach you to break the commandments. Yeah, they got a zeal, but not according to knowledge. They break they break a lot of commandments, but they're going to be the least in the kingdom. See, it's a hierarchy, and it's telling you this. And it says, and there was given to him dominion and glory and the kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. We're going to be in heaven worshiping the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? His dominion is an everlasting dominion. So after the fourth beast, the fourth kingdom, the Mashiach's kingdom is coming after this. So the fourth kingdom, the people who are in dominion right now is America, Israel. They're the dominant factor and force in the world. We know that they're the fourth beast. You know what I'm saying? It says his dominion which shall not pass away, in his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Right. So Daniel is like, verse 15, Daniel is grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head trouble me. Daniel is stressing. He's seen this. He don't know what to make of it. So we see that he asks for clarity, right? And this is the clarity that he gets. Verse 18. I don't want to go over. I don't want to read the whole thing to you, but verse 18, right? But the saints, y'all know who the saints is? The saints. Psalms 55. The saints is those who made a covenant with him by sacrifice. The covenant that they made is in Numbers 24, 6-8. That was the entering of the old covenant. Only the saints, only the Israelites entered the old covenant. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding and dreadful. They don't even describe this beast really. You know what I mean? He's just horrible. That's the only way to describe him, is horrible. You know what I mean? Horrible is America. Horrible is Israel. You know what I'm saying? So, verse 21, it says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. So one of those 10 horns, which was 10 nations that came out of Rome. I told you it's a lot of them. 10 nations came out of Rome. One of them rose up, and it says, we'll read verse 20. Look, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. So when this horn came up, other kingdoms was falling, right? And before, in short, and before 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth and spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, right? So he got a mouth and eyes, and he's you know, he's different than the other horns. He's different than the other nations. See, the beast is a nation, right? The beast is one nation, but the horns represent the division of that nation, right? I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. He didn't make war with everybody on the earth. The horn made war with the saints, and we know this fourth beast is the one in control. We know America is in control. They're not the ones making war with them Israelis. You know what I'm saying? So this don't fit the narrative of them being the people, because the country that's in control is on the side of the people that the Bible said would be making war against them.
So you saying how is they the people when
the power is on their side?
Yeah.
Feel me?
That's another thing.
Yeah, kill them. So it said, verse 22, until the Ancient of Days came, the Most High, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, passing under the rod, judgment. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. The Israelites are going to rule the kingdom. That's what Isaiah 60 says. It says the Israelites are going to rule. Isaiah 2 and 2-3 says the other nations are going to come to the Israelites to learn.
It said until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. Like, do the saints of the Most High got judgment right now?
Well, the saints of the Most High, it says until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. Judgment. We're going to be kings and priests as well. The Israelites. I don't even say
the saints possess the kingdom.
The saints are going to possess the kingdom. They're going to be kings and priests, is what the scripture says.
Yeah. So, like, how do the Jews right now portray that as happening? Like they don't, like, it ain't no peace over there in the land.
Nah.
No, it's
peace in the land because they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Like, they're not lining up with the prophets. But you want to finish this off, and then
I gotta go. I gotta show you this Isaiah, right?
Okay. If you have to come back next week too.
Probably so. For sure. I got to show you this Isaiah, right? Because Isaiah
what?
61.
Say it one more time, Mark.
Isaiah 61.
Okay.
61. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. If you read Isaiah 60, it's going to tell you that this is Isaiah 60 is the kingdom of heaven, which is the government of heaven. And in the government of heaven, the Israelites are going to get the riches of the Gentiles. So the world, the earth, the riches, the gold, the resources are going to be in possession of the Israelites. Verse 1 through 3 or 4.
Yeah, they're gonna cleave to us and give us their possession.
Right. The Israelites have the light. The world is in darkness, is how the chapter starts off. The world is in darkness. The Israelites are the light. The people come to the Israelites because we're the light. We've been the light. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody got to get down or lay down. That's what verse 14 says. It says, the sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. And it says, those who will not serve thee shall perish. You know what I'm saying? But Isaiah 61, right? I'm gonna skip it. It says, my bad, 63.
Isaiah 63.
Yeah, my bad. 63. Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is glorious. So whoever Edom is, this might be a little contradictory to what you were saying earlier, but whoever Edom is, they're in rulership in the end, right? We're going to see that. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. This is the Mashiach, and he's not coming to talk. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel? Why are your clothes red? And thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat, like them people in Italy that be stepping in buckets of grapes and be red. That's what his clothes look like he been stepping in buckets of grapes. That's how they make wine out there. You know, he got red clothes. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. And I will stain on my remnant. He's going to stain his clothes because he's going to be killing the leaders of the world. We know who those people are. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Redeemed means bought back from slavery. It means repurchased. It means saved. We can go to the definitions, and it literally says saved from slavery. He's saving the Israelites from the captivity of the fourth beast. It said the fourth beast, when we go back to Daniel 7, it says the fourth beast is going to be wearing the saints out. We didn't get there. But it says they're going to be wearing the saints out. We're going to be wearing out because they've been you know what I mean? They've been oppressing us for all this time. That's how we know the fourth beast is America, because the saints is where the fourth beast is. It says, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold before my arm brought. It says, verse 5, it says, therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury upheld it. The destruction of these people is the literal salvation of the Israelites. You feel me? This is the Mashiach come, and you can go to Numbers 24:18. You know, you can go to Isaiah 61, 1-6. That's the good news that the Mashiach quotes, that the Messiah quotes in Isaiah 4:17. The good news is that he's coming to save us. He's coming to rescue us from slavery. That's what it tells you. You know what I mean? And strangers shall feed your flocks, 61:5. And the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and vine dressers, but ye shall be named the priest of the Lord. Men shall call you ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and their glory shall ye boast yourselves in. You feel me? We're gonna boast ourselves in the glory of the Gentiles because they was oppressing us. You know what I mean? He's gonna come and destroy these people because they're the fourth beast of Daniel. They're the fourth captivity.
So, you know, I think it's a lot of confusion too. I say first of all, Total Revive for definitely on the impromptu coming on, hitting the, with the scripts. You feel me? We probably put a bookmark where we at, but I think we covered a lot of ground, and I think that kind of helped a lot of clarification when it comes to like a lot of folks with end time prophecy, like. We've been taught the rapture doctrine. We've been taught all kind of stuff. A lot of people don't got no kind of set foundation on like what it looked like in the end times. Like to be able to line stuff up. So
Ezekiel 20 is the rapture. It just don't happen how they say it is. The Israelites is the one that get raptured, and it's not the ones who just been perfect and been. It's all of them.
But like the church teach like, are you gonna be raptured up out of this world and not have to go through nothing?
Yeah.
Endure to the end.
Yeah, but the scripture tells us endure to the end.
The saints shall be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones that endure to the end is the ones that's gonna make it under that rod. Because he said pass under the rod. So he's not just taking the observant Israelites, he's taking all of them, and then he's gonna judge all of them, and some of them ain't gonna make it. But the church tell you that the rapture is going to be the people who believed, and it's going to be everybody who believed. But he said he's taking the fathers of the people he made a covenant with in Egypt.
Yeah,
that's the Israelites, buddy. It's not everybody.
Like the largest religion on earth, ain't it? Or second?
That's not the narrow way. You know what I mean? How many 4 billion Christians or something?
Yeah.
Verse 8.
They'll not be leading, but them is they up.
Isaiah 63 and 8, it says, for he says, surely they are my children, my people that will not lie. So he was their savior. You know what I'm saying? So, he coming to save his people, man, from this evil world, man, from these people who are stealing identities, from the people who've been oppressing his people. Y'all read Daniel 7, man. Go read the whole thing. But that's what's about to happen. And this Israel, Iran, this war, man, this is what's gonna bring that on. Go read Ezekiel 38. You know what I mean? And this is what we want, really. We want that. Because when these prophecies fulfilled, the good and the bad come, then the good come.
And that's why we don't want, like, we show the events and we speak on them things, but we don't want to get caught up with that. We want to focus on being set apart and perfecting our walk.
Right.
Like that's the job of an Israelite. You perfect your walk, you focus on your hood, and just pay attention to the signs as they happen.
Yeah, you better perfect your walk, because these signs is telling you that soon the Israelites is gonna get snatched up, and that judgment gonna come soon. And if you ain't, observing, you're not gonna make it under that rod. You know what I mean? That's what we want, man. We want the kingdom.
You got any final words you want to shout out?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Read Daniel 7, read Daniel 2, read Ezekiel 38. You know what I mean, and come back to them law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean?
Maybe we can put that in the chat real quick.
Read Leviticus 26 too.
You said Daniel 7,
Daniel 2, Daniel 9, Ezekiel 38.
You said 7.
I said 37. Daniel 2, Daniel 9, or Daniel 7, my bad. Daniel 2, Daniel 7. You know what I mean? Read the Valley of Dry Bones. Ezekiel 38, Leviticus 26. Read them chapters, man. Study that. The land is the promise. The land for us is the promise, man. Them people got to get up out of there. They got to move around. That was promised to our people, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I mean? And you ain't gonna get there, man, if you ain't following the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Genesis. So all praises. You got any final words up here?
All right, man. Stay up on the current events and see what's happening with this war. Let's see who else America gonna take out in the process. It's going down. How the camera move up?
Well, all praises, man, to the Most High. I appreciate, appreciate all y'all tuning in, man. Until next time, say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
They walking that walk.
Yep. Shabbat Shalom, my keys.
Shabbat Shalom, Hebrew.